Morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. This is Robert Burns. It is Tuesday, January 16th at 6 a.m. Pacific time, where I am, and I'm delighted to have you join us. If you are watching one of our streams, terrific. If you're able to log in, you'll find um, our link to log directly into this meeting with us. If you're inclined to do that, you can engage and see really what this is all about. So before we get into this, important risk disclaimer information. Trading is risky. Your results will vary and are not guaranteed. This information is for educational purposes only, and I'm getting a little bit of an echo here. Hang on a minute. I'm going to get rid of that. Hang on just a moment. Okay. There we go. Okay. This information is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice or a solicitation to invest. Trading, Forex, indices, metals, and other instruments is at the full discretion of the user, and users are fully and solely responsible for their own trading results. You could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment and should therefore evaluate your own risk tolerance before trading and only trade with money you can afford to lose. Any links in my post may contain affiliate referral links and may generate a reward for the referrer. Never risk funds you cannot afford to lose, and always look to withdraw your initial risk capital as soon as it is earned, de-risk, so anything after that you receive subsequently is pure profit. And what we're going to get into today are trading ideas. We're not giving you trading advice. So if you choose to act upon those, again, that is at your discretion, and you are fully and solely responsible for your results with that. So with that said, we've appeased the regulators, at least for a minute. This is what we're doing today. We're doing our live trading session. This is free until Thursday this week. And then at that point, somebody has to be a paid customer of Manifest. There's a lot of benefits to doing that. It's only $50 to kick the tires, to take this for a test drive, by the way. So that entitles you to a month of Manifest. Just to give you an indication of what that means, we've got some great educators. They provide excellent information on how to trade. In some cases, this gentleman, Reynaldo Soriano, and this gentleman, Mohammed Khan, are actually providing signals. These are some examples of the signals. They're excellent. They're really good. So if you plug in here and you can't attend the live trading session, however, you are able to get these signals and you can place these trades. You can learn how to place the trade, place the stop, place the take profit, and just take every trade. Because when you do, if you look at the averages here, we're well above 75%. You'll have 1 in 4 that are losers and 3 out of 4 that are winners. Cut the losers short. In other words, always put tight stops on here. We'll show you how to do that. But you can be profitable with the signals and have additional profit with us if you can show up and attend the presentation here. So with that, I want to introduce Robert Russell is my business partner with this project, and we're very excited about it. He has developed a breakout trading strategy that is absolutely killing it. He trades the DAX, which is the German 40. Used to be called German 30, by the way. It's now 40. They included 10 more companies in that index. It's the German version of the US 30. It's the top industrial companies in Germany. It's also he also trades the Euro USD and the USD JPY. So we've got a good range of instruments that are being traded. He'll get into the basics of support and resistance. You'll see that in his analysis that he'll do here in just a minute. He'll show you how he does trend lines, how he uses pivots, how he uses the fair value gap. I will get into the technical stuff as time allows. If we have a lull in the market, getting into MT4, MT5, trading view, position size calculator, and other things. And we've got another strategy coming here toward the end of the month that we'll bring out and show to you. Now, here's something that's a really critical element in the process of your trading is to have a trading checklist. I would encourage you to take a screenshot of this slide because it's very important to not leave this stuff to accident. You know, here I am early morning in the US. It's easy for me to forget things at any time, but especially early morning. It's important. It's imperative to have, you know, something I can follow as top to bottom, make sure I do all this stuff. Think of the analogy of a pilot. You wouldn't want to fly with a pilot that didn't have a checklist. And you're the pilot of your own trading. It's really important that you have a checklist that you go through these different things, starting with the news. And today, I'll show you an example of this. I'm going to put a link to this tool in chat here, and we highly encourage you to get an account set up with this company. It's called forexfactory.com, and this is a direct link to the calendar that I just sent in chat. Be sure to click that before you leave chat today. And you will see that today at 7 a.m. my time, whatever time that is for you, that is 10 a.m. Eastern. That is, what is that? That's 3 p.m. UK time. Now, what I just had to do, you don't have to do if you have an account here. Notice I've got an account set up. There's my username. It automatically publishes all of this stuff in my time zone. So I don't have to worry about computing the time of the event. It's automatically done if you have an account. An account is free. Get an account. It's really, really important. 7 a.m., the Bank of England Governor Bailey speaks. This will have, no doubt, could have a very powerful effect on the pound today. We hope it is bullish. We really do. We've got some trades open with an algo that we're running, and really would like to see that just go straight up. So this, at any rate, is a tool that is a very valuable tool to have in your arsenal, and a part of the overall checklist, as I said. Now, what Robert will then get into, he will show you top-down analysis, looking at the higher time frames, getting in, then drilling down to the points where he may be entertaining an entry, just to give you a sense of what's going on in the market. Though, take the 24,000-foot view and then kind of drill in. We're getting a little bit of feedback from somewhere. That may be your phone, Robert. I'm not sure if the audio is on your phone.
I'm saying they okay.
Maybe Magnar. I'm going to mute him. There we are. Okay, I think we've got that under control. So then he'll get into drawing out the zones and the market structure lines. This is starting to get closer to, okay, this is what we need to have happen today in order to call some trades. And he will do this so to show you his method to evaluate potential breakouts up or down, depending on the instrument. Then later in the call, time allowing, I will get into how you compute position sizes. I've got a calculator for you that's a very good one, especially when you're brand new. The other thing to check on is which account are you trading in? When you go to your MT4, be sure to, or MT5, excuse me, be sure to look up here and see, are you in a live account or are you in a demo account? It's an easy mistake to make. I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake personally. You go, oops, and you think you're showing somebody something and you realize it's a live account. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're in a demo to play right now. If you're trading already and you're purposefully wanting to trade a live account, good on you, but make sure to make that check. The other thing is, once we do the position size, make sure that position size matches right up here in your trading platform on the one-click trader. This is another easy mistake to make. Hence why we have the checklist. The checklist will help you avoid these common pitfalls and mistakes. Last but not least on my docket here this is a really good book on trading psychology. It's called Best Loser Wins. It's available on Amazon, both in paperback format, Kindle format, and Audible, so you can get the audio and listen to it and then come back to the book and reference the charts and diagrams. And, if you're like me, I like to read and then reread and listen and then come back and look at the diagrams again. So that is it for my section of this. I want to introduce you to my business partner and colleague here in Manifest, Mr. Robert Russell. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you very, very much, and great to see a lot of folks on, guys. Most importantly, folks, before I start, this is not financial advice. This is for education purposes only, and these, as Robert has already says, are trade ideas, okay? So folks, Robert has gone through, as we says, the red folder. We've gone through some of it. It did have the markets very, very rocky. We're coming up on more news again, I think, in about 45 minutes. So today we're going to trade very, very carefully, and we won't enter the markets unless the setup is there, because with the news behind us, what's coming up at 3 o'clock, these markets could really move in a direction, you know, it could take us out. And when I do an entry, folks, I'll have the stop loss tight, okay? Because there's no point in having a big stop loss because you're just taking more of your account. We'll keep the stop loss nice and tight, and I'll share my screen. So folks, straight away, we're going into the DXY, which is the dollar. And as you can see from this morning, big push up, and it continued to push. Folks, I have a line here. This is a resistance line to me here. I got through it, but it was pushed back. It came up again. It got rejected. That was the news there. It gave it a big push down. It came back up. I'm expecting folks to come down. Okay. This is what I think I can see in my head. The markets is going to do what they're going to do. They're not going to listen to me, but I'm expecting the dollar to weaken and possibility to come down to this level here. Into this level. This is what I'm thinking. We got a good push up again, but I'm expecting this now to continue to go back down again. So we have news coming up in 45 minutes. So we'll keep a close eye on this. So that's the dollar. Again, you can see there was a big, big push down, and then it got pushed back up. But now we should start to see maybe a few red candles forming and pushing down. And then the news at 3 o'clock, push it down into the area that I'm looking at. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking with the dollar and the news. But we'll see what happens in 45 minutes. We'll just take a look at the DAX. I have my trend line in, folks. As you can see, it's already broken through it. I'm going to show you what I was looking at first. Folks, so up here we have our recent, this is a recent high, okay? So what we're looking for is, this is the high, and we've got our low. So what we're expecting is to come back up, maybe into this area here, maybe even above that high, to grab liquidity, take out maybe some sellers up here, you know, to come up, take the liquidity before it pushes down. Again, say, folks, the markets, the news didn't really affect the DAX today. It didn't do much. It's been falling since Monday. This was Monday's opening here, and it's dropped. It's been continuing to drop. It found support at that level where I marked. If I go to the 4-hour, as you can see, it found support over here. Okay. So you always wonder, why did it get rejected at this level? Because it found support over here. What are we looking to break this level of support? Okay, that's what we need to come down, break through it, and continue to push down. So this is another entry we're looking at here as this level here. We go to the daily. I think the DAX, I don't think the DAX is going to continue to go up. I'm thinking we could come down. Let's say if we break this level here, we could come down maybe into this fair value gap here. That's what I'm looking at. But that just wouldn't happen today, folks. That would be a trade that might take a day or two to get from up here to come down. But I'm expecting the DAX to continue to push down. And this level where I have my line is a possible entry. Okay. Let's go to the euro versus the dollar. And again, folks, we hit, I'm trying to think, let me go to the 5. I'm just looking. Again, folks, you know, we got our low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Again, we're going for higher high, higher low. We come up, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. What I'm thinking is to come into this liquidity here. This is a fair value gap, okay? So we're looking to tick out liquidity in this area and then go back up. So what I'm looking for, the dollar was strong, which I was thinking it's going to happen. So to push the euro down into this area. And then today with the news, the first news, it did kind of weaken the dollar. So I'm hoping now the 3 o'clock news will further weaken the dollar. And then we can get the reversal on the euro to go back up. So that's what I'm looking at the daily. If we look in the 15-minute, and folks, this is the euro version of the dollar. This is going to be a new strategy. Robert, my business partner, is going to be coming in. And this is the time frame that we will be looking at. So what I looked at, folks, was the London Open on the high of the day. Okay, so I have that marked out. And here I have today's low. Okay, I have it marked, but it could come down and break it. So it's just marked. It doesn't mean this isn't going to come down and break. What I hope is that we hold above this level and we push up. So that's what I'm waiting for us to hold above that level. And the last one is the USD JPY. Again, folks, I am expecting, we got our drop. We came up, get under the fair value gap. I'm still expecting us to drop down here, folks. To come down into this level here. I'm just going to check the bigger time frames. Yeah, to come down to my trend line at least so that we can get an entry. As you can see, it's respecting the trend line. Okay, that's my trend line the whole way up. Folks, let's just say we're on an uptrend. We all can agree we're on an uptrend, we're going up. The first sign of us going on a new trend is we must break this low here. Okay, we got to break it. So let's say we came down and we broke this low over here. Let's say we came down here. Well, what's going to happen is we broke the low. We're going to come down into this area. There's a good chance we're going to come back up for the fair value gaps and then continue to go down. As long as this doesn't break this line that I have marked, we'll come down, maybe get into this area, touch my trend line and go back up. So what I'm looking at again here is the dollar is at the front. So for the dollar to continue to weaken, so it means this is going to continue to go down, go down, go down. And so really, if the US dollar continues here, as I said, will continue to drop, well, then the euro is going to go up. Okay, so whatever one goes, the other is going to do the exact opposite. So I am expecting to get more red candles to push down here. And how we're going to find that out as we look at the dollar, we continue to want the dollar to weaken. What I always like to see is a big red candle push down. So it kind of showed me that there is a possibility, folks, we will get into this fair value gap.
Robert, sorry to interrupt. We've got the New York equity markets opening in 8 minutes. That also could have an effect because they're back after a major holiday in the US yesterday. So look for some increased liquidity and increased volume.
Yeah, that's correct, Robert. It says the New York Open. We have the news then in 40 minutes, folks. Folks, I'm always on the edge of my seat, especially when the US comes back after a bank holiday. We had red folder news. We have more red folder news. This is the day that we just have to be extra careful in our trades. I'm just looking at just looking at possible entries, folks. The euro versus the dollar. Possible entry. I'm going to mark this up and then I'll put all the writing out. Okay, so we will get ready.
Notice on Robert's charts also, there's a watermark right in the middle of the chart in the background. If you're ever wondering what instrument he's on and what time frame, just look at the watermark. It's Euro USD, and he's on the 15-minute time frame. Nice and easy, nice and big, that you can see exactly where he is and what he's up to. So that's something that's a visual that you want to tune in on, because he'll drill in and drill out depending on what he's doing. And in that process, sometimes you're not on the same chart and it won't match. If you're following along with what time frame he's on, it should be very close. It will be somewhat dependent on the broker you're on, but generally it's going to be very similar.
Thank you, Robert. Okay, so folks, this is a trade idea. Again, it's not financial advice. So our entry will be 108,933, as you can see here. Take profits 109,224, and our stop loss 108,692. Okay, so I have my lines in, but here is the entry and the price. Okay. So entry.
Find time to get a screenshot, guys. Get a screenshot of that, and be able to then mark up, your charts accordingly. This for sure is a long trade. It's
Correct.
a buy trade.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Good correction there. Well spotted, Robert.
Actually, it wasn't me. It was a question in the room, which was a good one. Santantham. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so sorry if I'm butchering it in advance, but he pointed that out, and good
Okay,
catch
thank you.
there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, folks, I'll leave it there for a few seconds. Just so make sure you all get it. So roughly we're looking at I'm looking here, folks. Again, folks, this trade again, it mightn't hit our entry. It could continue to go down, but I'm hoping this is the low of the day here. Okay. Okay, folks, I hope you all got a screenshot of this. I'm just going to look at another chart. What I would want, folks, in the DAX is I want the DAX to continue to go up. Maybe I am looking at this level here for an entry. Because I don't think, I'm hoping again this is the low of the day is here. Folks, I've already drawn the fib on this before I come on the call, and I know exactly where the lines are. I just want to keep an eye on this trade, the euro versus the dollar. Let's go down to the 5-minute. Because with the volume coming in, this could hit entry quickly. And why I put that stop loss here is below the previous low. Okay, we just go down below the candle. Okay, just down below the wick. The candle, the wick's all the same, but I just put it below this wick here. Okay, just right below it. So folks, if you put it up tight, it could come down and touch that area and take you out. So this is why you're always having your stop loss down below this. Again, folks, we're looking at the dollar. We go to the 15. Okay, that's nice. That was a nice push back down. This is just indecisive yet. We've got a minute left of that candle. When that candle finishes, we're going to be in the New York Open. And I'm expecting volume today. There's no question about it over the next hour, hour and a half. But again, folks, for me to get my entries, I want the dollar to weaken. Okay, the dollar has to weaken for the entries to open for us. The dollar goes up, the entries isn't there. Okay, as you can see, we got the big push down, and then it was forced back up. But as you can see now, it looks like we're going to continue to go down. What ideally would be is that the dollar could come down to this area here. That's what I'm looking at. It mightn't get exactly down to here, but as long as it gets close, it will give us a good entry on the euro versus the dollar. Folks, this is a little thing that I've been watching on the side. Is a currency strength meter. Okay, I'm going to go back to the charts, but this is something I've been watching because today, as we all can see, the dollar is so strong, and this is really telling what happens in the markets. The dollar is dominant. The GDP, this is one of the ones that I'm looking at this morning. That was at 1 bar. The euro was at 1 bar, but the euro's throughout the morning, it's starting to gain a little bit of strength. But this is a great thing here to look at, the currency strength meter. We can all agree the dollar is strong today. This changes every hour, 2 hours. You know, if one currency is getting stronger, it moves up another bar, another bar. So this is another one to look at, as well as the red folder, as well as looking at this here. Okay, so I have lots of things in the background that I'm checking. So I'm just, folks, as a lot of people might guess, there's no guessing here. We make sure we have all our lines, support, resistance, Fibonacci's drawn before we enter the trade. Okay, folks, the New York has opened. Again, folks, the news at 3 o'clock might actually keep the markets quiet. It might. Just going to look at the DAX. I do hope the DAX pushes up. I do want the DAX to move up in this direction.
And that's at 3 o'clock UK time, guys.
Correct. 30 minutes. Again, folks, I think there won't be much movement until 3 o'clock. I really don't. I think we'll just kind of go up, down, and then we'll make our move. So it says, folks, this is just an trade idea. Again, you know, this entry might be moved down. It could be moved up. If it just breaks this low, then I take everything out. But again, folks, we had a nice green candle, another green candle. You know, this candle might be pushing down at the minute, but we still have over 12 minutes of this candle left. This candle could end up green. Especially, folks, if you're on the 5-minute candle. It's the last minute of the candle. You've got to pay close attention. For the 15-minute candle, we're looking at the last maybe 2 minutes of it. And that will tell us where the candle is going. Okay, because we all know a candle can move a lot in 2 to 3 minutes. Just because this is red now, it doesn't mean in 10 minutes we could be up here. We could. Markets can move a lot in 5, 6, 7 minutes. Just going back and forth. So folks, this was today's low. Let's just draw, let me see, I want to go to the USD. So we have our low today, we have our high. Let's draw the Fibonacci on this just to see how this worked out. And like that. I'm going to get rid of these fair value gap because I want to see what's happening. And no, I don't need that. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I'm right at the bottom of the wick. Okay, making sure it's at the bottom here. Making sure it's at the top. And there we go. So folks, by looking at this, this was our low today. This was our high. We had our retrace. We come down, and as we can all see, we touched the 61. We came back up. You know, this probably would have been the entry here on the USD GPY. We probably would have come on here and did a buy, and then we would have got in. It would have went up, and you would just got out here. But what we want, folks, is we didn't miss a trade. What we want now is this to continue to come back down. Because if it comes down and let's say it breaks this line here, the chances of it going back up is less. If we can get to this area here, we have more of a chance of going down. So if we can get down here, it means the dollar has weakened and we can get in this Euro USD trade. Again, folks, we might get a trade today with the news. These markets have stopped moving in the last 10 minutes. So literally this is 2:30, that candle. So literally in a few minutes, it's not moving. And folks, for me on red folder days, I don't like entering trades, especially 5 or 10 minutes before the news, because I'm totally against it. I don't want to be in a trade when the news is happening. And if I'm in a trade and if I'm in a profit or a loss, I just close it out. Yeah, folks, there might be a possible entry here. I'm just going to draw this line. Let's just say there. So that would be the entry. Stop loss would be, let's just say there. I'm just going with the bigger time frames. So we could let the tech profits come down to here. We just let the trade run. I want to go to bigger time frames because there's bound to be a candle over here. Look, here we go. So that was a good match where we found resistance. So let's go back to the 5 minute. And bring this in a little bit. Let's just say there, and we'll lock it in. Folks, what I'm doing here is I'm doing the wee lock so the lines don't move. So I'm hoping now this is 1, 6. Oh no, what happened here? Whoops. Sorry, folks, I just moved the screen. I need to come out of that. Whoops, sorry guys, that just got away from me. I'll get back straight away. And there we go. So folks, this is a sell on the DAX, which is the DEX40. It will be a different name on different brokers. Our entry is 16496. Stop loss 16534. And our tick profits is 16475. We could move this lower, as what it says. We'll just go with the tick profits. We'll let it drop, But this is an entry on the DAX for a sale. Enter is 16496. Tick profits 16475. Stop loss 16534. Okay, folks, I'm going to leave that there to get a screenshot. This trade could probably happen in the next minute or two. Check this out, folks. Folks, I hope everybody have got a screenshot of this here. So we've got two possible entries, okay? Okay, so I'm just going to check the dollar. Again, folks, it must hit my area before I get my enter. Okay, as it says, it got down here, and again, it's got support over to the left. So this is why I always wanted to break support to the left and put my entry below it. And as it says, that's enough of room for the stop loss up here. A lot of people make up to this previous high here. To me, that's too much of a stop loss, okay? I'd rather go with this previous high here. Again, folks, if we don't get a trade in the next 10 minutes, I'll wait till the news passes. Just checking the dollar. The dollar must be getting strong. Let's see what the dollar does, folks, in the next 20 minutes. The first news, it kind of made the dollar weak. We're getting rejected at this level. Got rejected here. Got rejected here. The way I look at it, folks, if the dollar can't break this last level here, we should continue to go down. But if it breaks this level, we break this high over here, we'll continue to go up. So the dollar looks like if it's getting strong again. Folks, I thought we were going to have a little bit more volume but it looks like it's not going to come until 3 p.m. UK time. That will be 10 a.m. Eastern. Just going to take this off here, folks, because I've seen the lines. I know what I'm doing here. Did hit the 618. Folks, unless the euro can hold here, it looks like it's going down. If we go to the bigger time frame, if we go to the 4 hours, let's just move this out of the way. Big drop today. There was a big drop. So this was since last night, and it's just continuously dropped. So what we are looking is, I remember last week, folks, I think I did say this on the 4 hour. We had a head and shoulders. I did put a trade out on Friday. The entry is up here, and there was a lovely drop. But it's now how far will the euro drop? I'm just going to move this up here. I can't see it getting down here, folks. I really cannot see the euro going down this far. I think we'll find support at this level where we're at. We're just going to have to wait and see, because that's a bigger time frame. Go to the 5 minute. Okay, let's go to the DAX. Folks, if we don't get in this trade in the next 5 minutes, I won't be calling any trade ideas. Because I think if we break this entry here, my entry, if we can break below it, we should get a good push down. Because we have, like, the bears is in charge, like they are pushing down. There's no question about it. But we're just getting a little bit of support at this level here. Yeah, folks, the most important thing is Forex is patience. It is tricky. Again, lots of traders would just be jumping in and the trade's going against you. You're hitting your stop loss. If you can be patient and it hits your entry, folks, all you need is one trade in the day. Okay, one trade. That's all you need. And if you can get your 1, 2, 3%, that's it. Back tomorrow. Then, folks, the time is against us with the news coming up. I'm just going to check the dollar on the daily. I want to see what's happening. Most important thing is, folks, again, what we're looking at here, this is our previous high here. So I don't see the dollar coming up here. This is too high up. I'm just looking on the hour, the 4 hour. So that's a long way for the dollar to get up here. Let's just hope, folks, we get a rejection on the dollar. It weakens. Again, what you want now, about maybe 3-4 minutes before the news, whatever way it's moving, I always see that's the way it goes in the news. So let's say if the dollar was strengthening right up for about a minute or two before the news, it just seems to continue going up. Or if it's going down, it just seems to continue to go down. Like the dollar's getting strong again. Yeah. So unless, folks, the news turns the dollar and sends it back down, to me, the dollar is only going one way, is up. And it's showing this on the USD JPY. And the euro will weaken. As you can see, it's all going to what it's supposed to do. The DAX, folks, it does its thing. Again, folks, I have my entries in place. I don't enter unless it hits my entry. The DAX continues to go up, and maybe up to the area where I said it, I could put the trade idea into our signals group so nobody misses. Let's see what the dollar is doing in a minute. No, it's just continuing to go up. So the folks, the dollar is just the bulls are firmly in charge today of the dollar. It's just pushing up, pushing up. And as you can see now, it has broken the previous high here. So it's just broken that high there now. It's gone up. And there we go. As we can see, folks, it's just like, I'm not expecting the euro to drop much further, because I would rather wait for the euro to come down in here, maybe into this area, and there will be an entry on the euro either here or somewhere close. As you can see, folks, it broke my low, today's low, so that has been broken. So, folks, what I'm expecting here now, I'm just thinking, so this is what's where my head's, folks. Okay, this the euro is going to turn. Okay, it's going to turn. It's either going to come up and touch this fair value gap, or come up and touch this one before it continues to go down. So this is going to completely change. I'm going to unlock these. I'm going to unlock this. So where we're looking, your enter there. Stop loss above that high. This is how this can happen, folks. This is a chart. You could be in for a buy, but the market is offering a sell. Again, folks, this is just coming too close to the news, and I just don't like it. But we can mark the trade out. We can mark it, and we can watch what happens. So folks, it's either going to hit this fair value gap here, or it's going to hit this one. Okay, this is going to come back up before it falls. It is going to come back up. So again, we'll get down to the minute. So it might actually get this far up here. Might even get to here. So folks, as you can see, it did drop here. It came back up. It did touch this fair value gap. It just touched it. Let's see, can it come up to the bigger one? If it doesn't hit this one here, it still means it touched this fair value gap. Folks, this is in the euro versus the dollar. This is in now between 230 and 330. So there is a thing, I don't know if anybody ever call of it, the silver bullet. Let's see, can we get up to this level here? Folks, I'm not going to call any trades. It's too close to the news. We can watch what happens here. I don't like and expected the DAX is going back up. The dollar is up at a level here. Let's see, can we get the push up to here before the news and then drop? I am expecting it to get up here now because it's broke through this fair value gap. So now I'm expecting it to get up here to the entry point. This is the thing, folks, with the markets. You could have an enter for a buy and you turn around and you're placing a sell. It's just the markets has formed a different entry. Okay, this can happen daily. Just because you have a buy, you could end up entering a sell. Again, this is a level, as again, as what it says, this is a level that is it going to respect and get pushed back down? We'll wait and see. As you can see, folks, the dollar, it did break, but it's finding a little bit of a rejection here at the moment. We'll see what happens. But again, this is the one I'm going to look at just to see what happens in the news. And then we'll hand it back over to Robert. I'll study the charts for a possible entry. This is the one thing, folks, is like today, the news was at 1:30. Let's say if you were trading today, you would trade, well before the news, a couple of hours. That's okay. But normally 15, 20 minutes before the market for the red folder news, I would close the trade, definitely. Unless your trade was in profit, you would tick your stop loss below your entry. So your trade is a one in trade. Okay, so you're not going to lose just in case it went for you. But if you're in a loss right before the news, tick your small loss and protect your capital. Folks, the max I would risk on a trade, worst case scenario is 1%. I wouldn't risk any more than that. So folks, we have 2 minutes now for the news coming up. Okay, we've got a little bit of a push down here. Got a red candle forming. Can we get the dollar back down here again? Again, then that means the euro is going to push up. Folks, trades that's what I say. It's just too tricky today. If there was no red folder news at 3 o'clock, there could have been a trade idea. But with two back-to-back red folders, we're better to sit on our hands today. Just looking at the DAX. Again, that entry didn't happen, but that's okay. I was also expecting for the DAX to come up here, maybe for a better entry, so we can watch that as well. But folks, we're going to get the red folder news in 20, 30 seconds. So let's see what the dollar is going to do. Okay, folks, so let's go now. Here goes the news. Is it going to affect it?
The instrument this one would be most likely to affect would be the pound, and the pound is just not, it's non-responsive. It's just kind of anemic and indecisive so far.
Right. Okay. So there we go. The GDP, Government Billy, he just spoke. And again, let me see what's doing here. Yeah, folks, the markets have literally like very, very little volume. Folks, I have my entries, folks, but they're not getting hit. And it's just the markets again, folks, today, they're just not playing ball. But that's okay. There's some days we're not going to get an entry. Then some days we might get 2 entries. Like last week, folks, we had 5, 6 entries. And we only had 1 loser. But today, the markets isn't offering us any entries. The DAX is going up, folks. I'm just going to get rid of these because there's no entry on the DAX. Rid of this. And I will show you, folks, what I mean by the DAX. You know, this is what I'm thinking. So you just can understand. I need to get rid of the little fair value gaps. So I'm going to move this down. So, folks, I'm going to do my Fibonacci. And I'm hoping the DAX comes up to this level. And we'll get our entry up here. So I'm going to show you. To the high. Okay, and we're going to drag it over here to make sure we're correct. A little bit. As close as we can get it, folks. As close as we can get it. That's not bad at the top. We need to go down at the bottom a little bit. As you can see, we're not at the bottom of the wick. There we go. That's pretty good. We lock it in. So folks, you can see we're at the 23. We did go up. We didn't get near the 38. What I would like is to come up to the 50 and get our entry here for a sale. So this all looks possible. We're at the 23. We might even get to the 38 and we could get an entry here. Okay, so this is going to be a possible entry. I'll mark it now so we don't forget. And then if this comes, I can put it into the chat. So we'll mark the 38 and we're going to mark the 50. Let me get rid of that. So possibility. With me, I don't know where my little thing has gone on me. There it is. And then what we'll do, we just get rid of that. Okay, so there is two possible entries. Okay, so I know one's a 38 and one is a 50. And we're going to lock the two of them up so they don't move. And there we go, folks. Okay, so possible entries, and I will keep an eye on this in the background. Again, the euro, it's not doing anything, folks. I'm just going to take away the markings because there's no trade entry here today. I am expecting a retrace back onto the euro. And the dollar just hasn't really been much movement from the dollar from here, just down and went up and come down, up, down, up. So it's in this little zone here now. So we're just going to have to wait. And the USD JPY, it's not hitting my entries either, folks. Okay, so what I would rather is to come down to this area here is what I did show you for a possible entry. So folks, it could take an hour or 2 hours, but do keep an eye on the chat, the trade signals chat, and that's where I will post the entries with the numbers, with everything. Okay, so keep an eye on the signals group chat. Robert, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Okay. Give me just a moment here. Okay. I have just sent out a link to the position size calculator that I'm going to show you. Be sure to click that before you leave the chat today, and then you'll have the tool yourself and be able to download it. It's free, and it's a good one. It's very straightforward, as you'll see here in just a moment. Get my screen to behave. Okay, there we go. So when looking at position size variables, this was something when I was new that was daunting. I just didn't understand these different variables. In other words, one of the variables is which instrument are you trading? Are you trading the DAX? Are you trading the euro? Are you trading the USD JPY? Are you trading the pound? What are you trading? Which broker are you trading with? To give you an example of that, one that I'm more familiar with than most instruments because I traded it a lot more was US 30. Well, US 30, if you have a common denominator of a dollar per index point, in other words, when the Dow moves, it's $1. What's the position size that would achieve that on your broker? Well, if you're on RoboForex or FTMO, that would be 1. If you're on 8 cap, that would be 0.1. If you're on Eagle, Envy, FX Sway, and a number of other ones, it's 0.01. So that's a huge variance. I mean, each of those is 10 times smaller than the previous one. So knowing which, knowing what the contract sizes are with your broker is one way to do that, although it's cumbersome. Which instrument is more clear? What is your account size? That also makes a big difference. In other words, if you have a $500 account versus a $5,000 account versus a $50,000 account versus a $500,000 account, right? That matters. And then last but not least is where are you placing your stop in relationship to price action? All of this stuff this calculator contemplates, and it makes it a lot easier because you don't have to think about all of that. So Robert Russell makes one of his fine trade calls. What I'm doing is I'm following along. And let's say for the sake of discussion, it's not important right now which direction this is going, because I just want you to get the idea. But let's say that I was going to enter a short on the Euro USD. Okay. And if I wanted to do that, I would just simply in the calculator click short right here. Here's what the calculator looks like, by the way. And I've just sent you the link. You can download it for MT4 or for MT5, and the installation instructions are on there. But when you click short, in this case, what it's going to do is it's going to look at this account size. This is a demo account, by the way. One of the things to always check is which account am I on? And this one is $9,600. So it's set at approximately, not approximately, it's set at a 1% risk. So it's going to be 1% or slightly less than that. It's going to pick, in this case, the swing high, meaning I'm going short. So I'm anticipating it's going to drop. Okay. It's a sell trade. So it's placing my stop just slightly above the most recent swing high right there. See that red line right there? Now, what I want you to focus on is not to take profit. I want you to focus on the red, on the risk. This was something that took me a while to get, and I wish somebody would have shown me this early on, because it would have made a hell of a difference in my trading results. I was making money, but I was giving a lot of it back. I'm giving a lot less of it back these days. So here's the entry. Let's say if I wanted my entry right where price action is right now, and it shows me that level right there. It's calculating the stop up here. And that entry, then my position size would be 0.37. It's contemplating the instrument. It's contemplating which broker this is. It's contemplating the amount of money in the account, in this case, $9,609. It's calculated my 1% risk is the default here. You can make it whatever you wish. It could be 0.5%, 0.25%, 3% if you wanted, if you have a very high risk tolerance. That's up to you. And then I can set my take profit wherever it is. This is just really for reference, but these are the two that are really critical in terms of risk mitigation. In other words, now what I want to show you, keep your eye right here on this. This is probably impossibly small to see, and I apologize in advance. It's just the screen resolution is what it is. It's 0.37, okay? What do you think is going to happen to that if I move my stop up? Type in chat what you think is going to happen. Is my position size going to get smaller or larger if I move my stop up? Didn't think we'd have a pop quiz this quickly, did you? Is the position size going to get smaller or larger? Type in chat your answer, please. So I've got 2 for smaller. That would be the correct answer. Let's say I was going to move it right up here at the top of those 2 candles have respected that level right there. So I say, I think I want to have my stop have a little more breathing room. I'm going to move it right there. Notice what happened to my position size. It was 0.37. Now look, it's 0.30. So we're adjusting the relative amount that we're exposing on the basis of how much if we get it wrong. In other words, if we get it wrong, it's still going to maintain about, in this case, $96, which is 1%, because that's the setting that we have chosen. But the key thing is that you're getting something that's giving you an answer on the lot size, on the position size that's dynamic based on where you're placing the stop. So you can visually say, no, I really think it has to have a lot of breathing room. I want it up here. Okay. Cool. That's going to give your trade a lot more breathing room, but look at what happened to your position size. Remember when it was 0.37? Now it's 0.17. Okay. You see, this really, really makes a difference in your overall risk. Any questions on this? And let me make it so you guys can come on mic if you wish. That's easier for you and me. You can unmute now. If you do have a question, don't hesitate. Don't be shy. Somebody else probably has the same question. There are no stupid questions, so don't worry about, oh, I'm asking a dumb question. No such thing. Ask the question.
Yeah, folks, like Robert's here now, and this is like, it's such a key part to your trading. And as I says, if you have a question you're not sure, please ask. And Robert, pretty sure he will answer the question and go through it, if you're not too sure. So do ask the questions. If you're a bit shy, pop it into the chat. Because Robert has lots of knowledge in this area. He just completely outdoes me. And this is, where he goes into a fine tooth comb, and he'll break it down really, really well for you. So, okay.
I just want to back
Yeah.
up what Robert's saying because I've been trading with Robert for a couple of years, and this has been for 2 years escaping me because I'll do a couple good trades and I'll have a lot size that I can handle and I'll bump it just a little bit and it really gets against me. And what Robert's showing you here, everybody, is worth the price of admission times 1,000. This is very, very important. You must, if you don't understand this, what Robert's showing you right now, you're better off not trading.
Yeah, or trading demo. You should be trading demo anyway if you're at all tentative about any of this, but especially this. This is the thing that will come back and bite you if you don't get it right. And this will make it a lot easier for you to get it right. And a caveat here, we discovered the only instrument so far that this misbehaves on is gold. So be careful if you're trading gold. It doesn't work properly right now, and I don't know why, and I haven't had a chance to get into that. Barry Elrod is looking at a different position size calculator specifically for gold. So be cautious even more so with gold. But to John's point, I mean, I was making really good money trading, for a while, but then I'd give it back, and I'd constantly, being lackadaisical with stops and risk, which is why I'm very, I'm so adamant about this book. This guy, where is he? Let me find him. This guy is really a world-class trader by anybody's measure. He's terrific. He traded for multiple Wall Street firms, knows technical analysis, has won trading competitions, and he'll says it better than most, and he's credible because of his background. He says the technical stuff is important. Your mindset and the ability to accept losses is more important. And losses meaning if you keep your losers short and you realize that's a part of trading, this guy is one of the best traders on the planet and he regularly has losses. Let that sink in. And I think men have a more difficult time with this often, the competitive, got to get in the fight, the sports and all that stuff. And losing is a part of trading. It's how you manage the losses, how small they are, hopefully, and not allowing them to be large that's critical. And what the position size calculator will do is help you quickly come to the determination of what the appropriate lot size is at any given point. And we just were playing around there with the Euro USD, this symbol. Let's go to the pound. And I'm delighted to see blue bars on this, I won't lie. Oh, you're welcome, Helena. So let's say for the sake of discussion, I want to go long right now on the pound. I went short on the last trade. I'm going to go long now on the pound. So right up here in my position, my one-click pro trader, let me see if I can get this to do what it should do, which is I've got my template saved. Is it going to behave? Yes. Nice. I like it when it works. Let's say for the sake of discussion, I was going to go long right now. So I've got my position size calculator set up here. And I want to just show you a couple things, by the way, on this that are hopefully helpful in getting this set up properly. one of the things that I like to do is have percentage of equity chosen here. That's a default. The risk, this is where you define your relative risk percentage. Now, down here, you see show price is chosen. It will default to show points. I don't like points personally. I like to see the price because then I can line up the level on the calculator with the level that I'm contemplating, meaning the entry, the stop loss, the take profit, et cetera. So show price is my preference. The other thing is I want to just show you this because it's just awful when it's set on the default for the panel size. I'm going to show you that. Now, keep in mind over here, here's where our price action is right now. Look at what happens when you say, okay, I want to do a long. It completely obscures the price action on my monitor. And it's because this is really high res. So I had to figure out, oh, well, to get rid of this big blob on top of price action, all you have to do is go to indicator list, choose the gadget PSC, which is this indicator, and then come down here and choose, instead of automatic, choose small. The other thing is now this is really monitor specific. This thing that I just showed you right here, the panel size, you'll have to play with that to see which one suits you and suits your monitor. What I figured out is horizontal panel indent, meaning how far from the left edge, vertical indent, how far from the top. And I've got it set on 20 and 80. That's probably impossibly small to see, but 20 for horizontal and 80 for vertical. Your monitor may be different, so just play around with it. You know, you can adjust these numbers and then get it to your liking. This is what it looks like when 20 and 80 is set on my monitor, and I like that. It's right underneath my one-click button up here. And when I do a long now, let's say, you see it's not, it just made me a liar. There we go. Okay. It's over here where it's not obscuring existing price action. In fact, it's perfectly positioned so I can see, okay, here's my open price if I entered the order right now. Here's my stop down at the swing low here, and my take profit is wherever I want it. Let's say up here. Does that make sense, everybody? Any questions on this? We're getting into some fairly technical stuff here, but if you're going to use this calculator, this is technical stuff you need. Now, knowing what we've got here, a $9,600 account, my position size as we speak is 0.45. Okay, that's handy to know. You know, no joke. I mean, this is something where, you know, if you've got a really tight stop, let's say you move this bad boy up here, you know, it's going to go your way more than not. You're really, you know, you're confident on your entry. You move the stop up, look at it, it almost doubled the position size. It's not doubling the risk though. That's the key thing to grab onto here. It's gonna maintain it around 96 bucks because that's my 1% risk setting. So if I'm adjusting the stop and making it tighter in relationship to the entry, the position size is the variable. That's the thing that changes. It goes up in this case. On the other hand, conversely, if I adjust position size down, way down here, look at what happened to my position size. It's down now to 0.24. This allows you to make informed decisions about size of position, and sometimes you should have a bigger position. Sometimes you should have a lot smaller position. It's based on where your stop is. And it is contemplating which broker, in this case, this is just a demo account, but whatever broker you're using, it will contemplate the broker because they vary on their contract sizes for instruments, particularly on indices. It will contemplate the instrument that you're on. In this case, it's the pound US dollar. And thirdly, it will contemplate the dollar amount in the account. And lastly, what is the risk parameter that you define as your constant? Like the default is 1%. That may not be acceptable. Maybe you want 0.5% or 0.25% risk. So you have to decide that and make that determination in the settings in advance. And again, just right mouse click on the chart, go to indicator list, go here. If you wanted to change that risk parameter, you just come right down there and put that bad boy in that field that says risk quantity in percentage or fixed amount. I use percentage. So this is something that will really make a difference in your trading when you get your brain around it. Get a demo account, play around on the demo account soon. And I've been threatening to do this for weeks now, but I want people to get this one and get it under their fingers first. There's an additional one that as people's trading skills advance and you want to manage multiple lot positions, meaning you see the signals that we get from Mo in particular. Let me get an example for you. You've got an entry, you've got a take profit 1, a take profit 2, and a take profit 3. Well, how do you deal with that? Right? Fair question. This is a more advanced idea. Initially, what I'd have you do is just do the entry, do the stop loss, and just take profit 1. Get that under your fingers first. Okay, because if you can get that, you can do the other two and you can figure that out. But it's a step-by-step process here. So entry, stop loss, which is the most critical choice you can make, really, is that one I submit. And third is the take profit. Happy days, it went your way. But if it doesn't go your way, that's the more important one, not hey, how much money am I going to make? The first question the experienced trader asks is how much money am I going to lose if I get it wrong? See, and this will help you mitigate that and keep that into a range that it was an acceptable loss size, not these giant, I'd make $4,000 in a day and give back 4,200 the next day. That's idiotic. Don't do what I did. I wish I would have had this from the beginning. Multiple position size. Let's say that we're going to do an entry right now on the pound. So let's say that I'm going to do, and this is in the checklist, remember. So I've done a great job of computing my position size over here, but if I leave a 1 up here, yikes, I missed the whole point of this exercise. I've got to make sure that number matches what I compute on my position size calculator. So in this case, I'm going to put in 0.24 and I'm going to enter a buy, a long trade. Boom. And there's my long trade. Okay. I'm at a slight loss, which is the spread. Okay. The difference between, and it's probably impossibly small to see that. Let me see if I can get it down here on a 5-minute. You see it a little bit better, maybe. You can barely see it. The spread right now on this bad boy is, where is it? It's one pip. So it's pretty tiny. And this line here in MT4, you can't see it really on this particular one, but there's a yellow line and a gray line there. That's the spread. So you have to be mindful of that spread. In other words, that's your objective to get over that. In other words, in a long trade, you've got to be beyond. If you hit up, you came out on the entry, it's got to be above that number. That's why you always start with a loss every time, because you have to have the spread computed in there. Now, how would we manage this trade if we wanted to take a piece of this trade? My position is 0.24. How would we manage this bad boy? Well, one thing I could do, let's pretend I'm in profit. I'm not. I have a $10, $11 loss right now. I'm going to take half of this off the table. So how would I do that? I've got a 0.24 position. I just double clicked on the position down here in MT4. I'm going to put 0.12 and I'm going to say close. Boom. And it gave me a new quote, but now my position size has gone from 0.24 to 0.12. That's how you take a partial profit. You'll hear somebody say, take a partial. It's trader code for take a partial profit. In other words, take some off the table. Now, I just took some loss off the table. It's the same though, okay? In other words, if you understand the mechanics of that, if the trade is going your way, where might you take off 40 or 50%? Maybe on take profit 1. So that's how you do that. In other words, you get to a certain point where you say, okay, I'm gonna take a big chunk off the table. I'm in profit. I hit take profit 1. Let's take half that profit out off the table and put it in, in our winnings, and it's locked in. Then you might move your stop. It's called moving your stop to a break even, which I'm not right now. I'm in a loss on this trade, so I can't really show you that on this trade, but we'll have time to do that in down the road in other sessions. And what that enables you to do is to make your trade a risk-free trade. In other words, let's pretend, here's my entry, this green line right here. Let's say it went my way and I was up here. And let's say the top of this wick right here was take profit 1. So boom, it hits. what I would do is take half of it off right at that point. As I just did, the mechanics of that you just saw. I had 0.24, I'd take 0.12 off the table. I still got 0.12 in the market. So at that point, what I would do is I would move. I can easily set a stop here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to set the stop like down here, which is crazy extreme, but just to show you the point. So that's how you enter a stop on MT4. Yeah, you just drag down. Now, if I want to set a take profit, I just drag from my entry line up. So now I've got a take profit. I'm going to make it smaller so you can see, so you can see it over here, TP. And this one is down here is SL for stop loss. Okay. This is a maneuver that a lot of people I find don't know this. In other words, instead of having to set this with, typing in numbers, to me, it's so much easier to do this visually. In other words, if I want to move my stop up now to right here, I can just move it right up right there. So now it's pretty tight. So if it comes down here, it's going to stop me out. It's going to take me out. And I can see over on the left-hand side, you'll see as I'm moving it around, there's $9.24, $9.24. You see, as I'm moving it around, that number is changing. So it's telling me the relative impact of that stop, depending on the level that I choose. There is $7.56, which is a bit less than 1% on my account. A buy on Euro USD as it hits our entry. Is that a current trade
Yeah,
call,
it's
Robert?
about to happen in the next hopefully minute. I'm waiting on a retrace.
I'm gonna exit mine and you take over if you would, please.
Okay. I just seen it happening there. I was just waiting on it patiently. Okay, it has passed our entry. It might come down into our second, but this is our entry, folks. It hit it. Okay, so I have literally entered 1.08831 as the entry. Our stop loss is 108,630. Tick profits is 109,217. So, folks, I have entered this trade. It's a trade idea. I have entered a buy. That is the euro versus the dollar.
Would you call those numbers out again, if you would, please?
So the entry is 108,831. Stop loss 108,630. Take profit 109,217.
I'm going to leave that on the screen for a moment. The minute that if I can grab share here, I don't want to have people miss that. Get a screenshot of that quickly if you can, guys. I want to
sorry,
show
guys.
you. No worries. Does anybody need that again? This for screenshot. Okay, not seeing anybody respond. So, okay. This is in real life now. I'm on a real account. I want to enter. Let me see here. I've got that call over on a screenshot over here. Let me get it. I grabbed it myself, 108,831. So I'm going to make sure this bad boy is where I want it right here. It's pretty close. There, 8820. It's retraced a little bit, actually, maybe a little bit better entry right now. So there we are. That's close enough. Let's get my stop computed down here. It's automatically down to the swing low. In fact, I'm going to make it a little bit less than that. Still a 0.02. So I'm going to come up to my position size right here on my entry position and go 0.02. That's an easy mistake to make. Don't miss this one, guys. It's critical that that number matches what the computer says. All right. We are ready for prime time. Buy. Boom. Real trade in the market using the calculator. That's how long it takes to do the correct position sizing when you're familiar with this tool. It's quick. And notice I didn't thankfully trade a 1 lot or a 0.2. It's a 0.02, and the decimals here matter. So let's see what happens. Russell has us in profit already. Yeah, my favorite Irishman. Look at that. So now I can do some of the other maneuvers here. So let me get rid of the calculator here now. And what I'm going to do, I've got my entry, that green line right there. I'm going to show you what I do. I come down and I want to make the stop loss 106, 108, 630, 630, right about there. A little bit below the swing low. See, that's where he set it. And then I want to put my take profit in. And the take profit was 109217. So I just drag up my entry like this, 109. Where is it? 9, 2. Okay. 217 right there. So there we go. I can walk away. If it does what it does, great. If it doesn't, no harm, no foul. Now, let's talk about trade management here. Again, this is a real trade. So you see what I was just talking about in theory before. Now we put it into practice on a real trade, not a demo. And this is obviously not a giant position. It's 0.02. If I did want to do that thing I was doing before and say, okay, let me take off 50% when it hits the line there, the take profit, I'm going to take a partial. There's the language. I'm going to take a partial profit. What would I do? I would double click right here on the position size right there. This window will pop up and I would put in volume 0.01, half. I'm going to take 50% out. That's my setting that if it's a take profit, that's a very probable number of all the numbers, take profit 1, 2, and 3. Number 1's the most probable by far. Well, I might take half off and then close with that being done. That's something you can do. And then if there was a take profit 2, you could set that, maybe take 25%. If you had a big enough position size where you could take, let's say I had a big enough account, this is a little account, it's $500. Let's say I had a $5,000 account and the position size, instead of being 0.02, was 0.2. So 0.2, I might take off 0.1 when I hit take profit 1. Then I might take off 0.05, half of what's left, meaning 0.1 is left. So I have 0.2 to start. I take off, when take profit 1 is hit, I take off 0.1. And then I adjust my stop loss up to what's called break even. In other words, wherever your entry is, you move your stop up above the entry. It's a risk-free trade at that point. After I've taken half of my position size off, maybe again, in my example, $5,000 account, 0.2 would be the appropriate position size. I'd take 0.1 off when it hits it, move my stop up above my entry. Now I'm in a risk-free trade. Now I set my next objective to be take profit 2. And when it hits that, then I take off an additional half of the, half of the overall position size, which is left. What was left was 0.1. I'd take off 0.05 at that point. Move my stop up some more, set take profit 3, and that one has the remaining 0.05. This is how somebody can turn a trade into one that has high probability of making a profit and then increase that profit as it moves your way. But at least you've got half the fish in the basket when it hits take profit 1. This we'll do over and over and over again. I know that was a lot of information. If you're new, that'll be like I'm speaking Greek, but and maybe you do speak Greek, so no offense to our Greek friends. But we'll go over this. We'll revisit this a lot, but that's a way of doing it with one position to start. Soon you'll see a calculator that allows you to have multiple positions right from the onset, and you can define all of those parameters or most of those parameters in the calculator itself when you're taking trades. Wonderful tool, also way over the head of beginners. I want you to get this first, and once you've got this, then that'll be the next logical thing to graduate to, to the next step, if you will. So how we doing here? We have a 10% loss. We basically got a break-even trade here. It's struggling to get its legs. but hopefully we will see some movement in that direction.
I have another
Robert,
marker. Robert.
I'm going to move back to you if I may.
Okay, no probs. I can talk you folks what's happening in the trade and what is going on. Okay, so folks, I'm going to move this. I want to make it nice and big. So folks, I have the blue line. I have my stop loss, but I have my blue line. So if we break this blue line, I normally cut my trade. I don't let it hit my stop loss. I do take a little loss, but I saved this. That's the way I look at it. I saved. The way I look at it, the best loser wins. So I cut my loser short instead of letting it hit my stop loss. And
what are those numbers, Robert?
Bear with me. I'll bring them right on here now again. There we go. Let me see. There we go. So, folks, this is a buy, the Euro USD. The entry was 108.831. Take profit 109.217. And the stop loss was 108.630.
And your blue line where you don't want to even let it get to the stop, that's 1.08707.
That's correct, Robert. If it touched that line, then I will close my entry with a small loss early.
So the stop loss in your case is kind of a worst case scenario. If you walk away and you forgot you just had something happen, but your blue line is your own internal, like I'm not going to let it even hit the stop. Your stop is kind of a worst case scenario, right?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So folks, we're on the 5 minutes. That's okay, guys. We came down here. We broke through the entry. We came down. We touched the fair value gap. That's okay. I was expecting that possibility. It could have come down and touched this one, which is lower down. But if this continues now to go green and kicks up, we should see the push up that I'm looking for. Again, folks, now
happening.
The trade is in profit at the minute, so it's always good to stick. It's always good, folks, to stick on, to the last. The trade might come in the first hour. As what I say, I always be patient, and if you're patient, the trade will show. So we're looking for is continue to push up to this level here, maybe a wee retrace, and then we'll push up further. So we'll go to the 5 minute. There's all our fair value gaps. I want to get rid of those now because I see what happened. Folks, if we get to this level here, let's just say here, and we get a little bit of struggle. We might take profits. Okay, we're not going to get greedy, but we could get up here. If we break, I'll put on the line where I'm looking for. There's lots of resistance at this level here. Okay, so this is a level I'll watch closely. If we can break through this, we will continue to get up to this level. I'm always looking left, folks. If we're breaking up, we're always looking left at the highs. There's resistance at this level. If we break through here, we've got resistance at this level. But again, let me get rid of that. That wasn't supposed to come on. Again, folks, we're never just going to go straight up like this and keep going up and up. That's not going to happen. We're going to come up. We've created a higher high. Now we create a higher low. What we want now is to push up, to touch our mark, create another higher high, maybe come down, create another higher low, and then continue to push again. So this is where I'm looking at the trade going. Folks, again, the markets will do their thing. They're not going to listen to me. But if I did my strategies, my lines, everything correct, we just sit then and wait. Again, as what you want, folks, is big, nice push on your candles, a big push up, just to break the previous high, push above it.
Dollar must be weakening.
Yeah, I would say I was expecting it. I was expecting the dollar to come back. Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, look at that.
There you go. Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Die, dollar, die, dollar, die.
yeah. So there we go, folks. Again, what we explained earlier on the call, the dollar did hit this level, but
Yep.
yeah, but the
Boy,
dollar
look how it
continued to weaken.
respected it also. Wow.
Again, folks, we're on profit, which is good. Again, on our patience, hopefully today will pay off. We waited for our entry.
I thought there was going to be more volume today. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, it's quiet. It is. Folks, this could tick off. Like, all we need is one candle to push, and we could be up here in literally a minute, 2 minutes. All you need is the one push, and it can tick off. But we're always going to get corrections, and like we come up and we're back down, and we're going up, we're coming back down. Okay, that's normal. And it's to how we deal with our emotions where we're in this trade now, we're on profit, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to close it, I got to close it. We're on profit, I got to close it. We've got to sit and watch. Okay. Let's just
Breathe.
watch. Breathe. Yeah.
Breathe.
And as this continues to move up, what do? Then we'll move the stop loss up. We'll move it up. I'll keep the stop loss here, but as we continue to get up to this level here, then my stop loss will come under this recent low. Because we don't want to be up here and then bringing it the whole way back down to the stop loss, because to me, it's not good trading. We move the stop loss as we get into profit. What we want, folks, now is get to push. We're just getting a little bit of, it's just undecisive. Again, if it breaks this low, then I get worried. I really do. This is when I go in. Do I let it come down even to this level? I'm always looking at the previous low. Because, folks, the way I look at it, if it can break this low, let's say it comes down to here, and then it comes back up, it's just going to come down then and continue going down. So we're looking at, we've our low, higher high, higher low. We now do need this to kick up. So when I see what we're doing on the 5, 15. Again, folks, I'm just drawing my lines because I like to see where I'm at. This is another line I'm watching closely. And this one here as well. Yeah, that's okay. So what we want now, folks, is a nice push up. Just break above these candles here, up and into this area. As you can see, this high didn't break this high over here. So this was our previous high. We got rejected. We've come up again. We've got rejected. What we need, folks, is to push up. And I mean break into this area here. We need to break this level. So we need another candle now to push up. We just need a little bit of force to push up. Just want to check the dollar. I will be back. Let me go to the 5, the 15. See, this is where the dollar found support before. We don't want it finding support at this level. We want the dollar to break down and get down to this level here. So if you're back to the minute, so we've got our high, we've got our higher low. No, we've got our lower low, lower high. We've got a lower low. We did break this, so we might get a wee trace up here and then continue to go down. Yeah, we need the dollar to push down, folks. Because if the dollar's not going down, it's just like we're in a stalemate. It's not moving. Come on, euro, push up. Just need to break these highs, folks. That's all we got to do is break these highs here. Once we get up to this level, we should get up. We should move up. So here we were looking at this level. Come on, bulls, push up. Folks, as long as we don't break this low, okay, as long as we don't break it. We can come down to here, it's okay. But we're not allowed to go down here. We might come to this level here. Just want to check the dollar. Okay, so what we want, folks, we want the dollar to get rejected here. Okay, we need it to get rejected. So if we get rejected, we should come down to this level. Because the dollar is going to go up, our trade is going the opposite direction. Folks, we're just literally at break even here at the minute. Okay, dollar just drop, continue to drop. Folks, we really are wanting as a push up, okay? We're looking for the green bears to come on and push this up here. Okay, let's go. Push up, guys, push. We're okay, folks. As long as we stay on this level, we're okay. We just don't want to come down here, okay? So we hit this level. I'm not letting it go to even here or even my stop loss. If it breaks that level, I'm out. and I'm happy with a small loss. Okay, we just need the dollar to drop. What we're looking for, folks, is this push. We just got to get above these highs here, okay? That's all we're looking for, is to push above these highs. And we get another green candle to push up. Just need one big green candle to push nice up to that area there. Need another candle to push. We got this candle. We got to get pushed up here. Come on, bulls. You know, want to get up here. Let's go. Got to break these previous highs. Just checking the dollar. I just want to see what's going on. Right. Okay. So dollar's going down. Come on, euro, push up. It's definitely slow. Okay, let's go, bulls. Let's push. Just can't seem to break this level at the minute. Folks, I don't like this candle here. I'm just letting you know I don't like that candle.
Are you talking candle 2?
Yeah, I just don't like the looks of it. And I got to get this candle green and push up.
And it's that long wick, guys.
Yeah.
That's the bear saying, no, you don't.
We need the bulls to get back in charge and push it up. We're just in a little fight here at the minute. Come on, bulls. Let's push. Get up above it. Whoops. Guys, close that trade. That is too big of a rejection. I'm going to close with a small loss. Close the trade. Close it out. So folks, hope everybody is out up at this level. That was a close. We called close here. Just didn't like that candle. I don't know where the volume come out of. That was a big push.
That could be the precursor for a push up to somebody that's big stop hunting.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad we got out, folks. We could just take a wee small loss here. We can't win them every day, folks. But again, small loss to me is as good as a winner. Protecting the capital, that is a big push for a minute candle. See what's going on with the dollar. Yeah, look at that, guys. Where did that come out of?
I'm looking for news. I don't see any.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know what's caused that big of a, like on the minute, that's a big candle. As you can see, folks, we got out up here and it still had our stop at the bottom. Let's just see what happens here. It just, as Robert says, it could have come down and hunted. We're sitting here, our stop loss. This just could have come down and taken us out before it drives up. It could have been stop hunting, Robert. You could be correct. It could have come down and knowing that all these guys down here was sitting down here.
also known as a liquidity grab.
Yes.
It's something that you see a fair amount, and you sort of get an eye for it, that they want to assemble some more liquidity, then they move right back up again. So it's just kind of a quick, and this is why having stops is crucial. In other words, what just happened, yeah, you get taken out, you don't like getting taken out, but you don't, it could go down a whole lot more than that. So having something in place that is the, and to Robert's credit, he called it actually on his second one above there. What was that lineup? 800? 108,800 is when you called out.
Yeah, it was there though. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So
yeah, it was up here. It's just, folks,
hard to say what that is as far as the, was it news or what was it? I'm not seeing anything that makes it evident as to what it is. Because it was right at the top of the hour too. It was right at 8 my time.
It's just when that candle got their rejection, like it's the candle's right at the bottom of the wick, and I didn't like the pressure came straight down too quick. And I knew if the bears didn't take control, that's why I got out here, guys, fairly quickly.
And you see two of them in a row, guys. The bodies are really teeny. You know, there's really, really, the overall size of the candle is quite big when you include the wick. Candle would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count from the left. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Candle 7. One to the left. That one. That was a bellwether candle right there. It's telling you something's coming, and sure enough, took another one to do it. So those are called dojis. They're pretty much dojis. In other words, the body is teeny, got a little wick on the bottom, giant wick on the top of that one right there. Pay attention when those happen, because what comes next can be what we just saw.
Yeah. Yeah, and folks, it'd just be interesting to see, did they come down to grab liquidity? Again, I thought my stop was actually low enough here, but they had different plans to come down a little
They
further.
wanted your money too.
Yeah, but I got out early, so they weren't getting too much of my money, Robert. I'm just getting a little bit wise to this game. I know what they'll be up to, so it's like, just get out early.
Yeah. And see,
small loss.
that's wisdom right there, guys. In other words, don't write it's going to turn around. It isn't. You know, in the minute you can get that mentality of just, that's it, I'm out, got it wrong. Happy day, a good loss. A good loss is a nice tight loss. And once you get that kind of mantra going, that day your trading improves, because your stops are the thing that'll kill you. In other words, or your losses. If you allow a loser to run, that's what'll eat you alive. Look at there. We're back, or we're on our way back.
It's crazy how this works. It really, really is what it's doing here now.
Same thing on the pound, by the way. Giant wick underneath on the 15-minute on the pound. Look at that.
Yeah. Down to get liquidity, because these where all the guys will have, this is where they'll place their, just on that line, folks, where I had it, that blue line, that's where everybody will have their stops.
Yeah.
And they just came a little bit below it, and even took out these guys here as well to the left.
Yeah.
That normally happens here
with deep pockets, whoever that was.
Normally what happens, folks, what you see that is they're coming down to grab liquidity. You know, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but normally what you see is it made its move down before it gets its push up.
Yep.
Grabbed all the money, and now it says, let's run, and up they go. Folks, that's it for another day. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time.
Good day. Nicely done,
Thank
Robert.
you, Robert. Thank you, Helen, Maxine, and Veronica. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maxine
Thank
is
you.
looking, no problem at all. Maxine, if you're in Manifest, we will be in the Manifest groups, both myself and Robert. If you belong to Manifest, we are in them groups, and you can reach out to us. Robert, I will talk to you later. Just going to go and get a quick bite to eat and get ready for the calls later on. We have an opportunity call in 2 hours and 20 minutes, 6:30 UK time, 1:30 Eastern.
Eastern. Okay, so 10:30. 10:30. It was 6:30 UK.
Yeah, opportunity call. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Great job today, Rob. A lot of good information there. Whether there was a loss or not isn't really relevant. It was a tight loss, and more importantly, lots of good content. So great job.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you very much. Likewise, yourself, incredible job
Okay.
again. And folks, back tomorrow.
Okay. See you later, Robert.